Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today, and it is a slider box. I've got a gift card and a pack of emergency in here. It will hold some candy as well. Okay, so let me give you the supplies. This is going to go over here. We're using Mossy Meadow cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 9. We've got some Whisper White for stamping, Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper that measures 4 by 2.5. And then we've got 2 circles that I've gone ahead and cut out with the stitch shape dies, and that's Mossy Meadow and Real Red. Okay, so let's go to stamping, and we're using the, what is the stamp set? Have a Hoot with the coordinating dies. So Have a Hoot. And we are going to stamp this image 2 times with Memento ink, okay? Once. Do this one down here. 2. And then I'm going to stamp the grading with Mossy Meadow. So here's that. Okay, so we're going to be cutting out our owl with the coordinating dies. Like I said, we're also using the stitch shape dies. So these are the 3 dies that we're using today: stitch shape and the coordinating Pick-a-Hoot dies. So we are going to be coloring with the Old Olive Stampin' Blend, Real Red, and then the Smoky Slate. And we're going to cut one of them out, if you can see, with the coordinating die, and then the other one we're going to cut out with the stitch shape circle. So I'm just going to color one of the owls, but then on the other one I'm going to color the stems. So I'll go ahead and do that part now. I think that's the only part, yeah, that's shown on there. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to start with the red for the bow. And Old Olive Light, I should say. This is the Dark Smoky Slate. Okay, so we're just gonna get the die cut machine out and cut out. Okay, so I've got a 1, a 2, and my 5, and we're going to cut out this one. And let's see, I always get this, I always start out with this upside down. Let's see. And then I'm going to do the oval over here. Okay, so here's all of our pieces. And I'm going to put my dies back on my magnetic sheet so that I don't misplace them. Okay, so now this image here is going to get popped up with a dimensional. Just going to take that, place it on there, and pop it up like that. Okay, so we'll set all these aside, and now let's get the Simply Scored scoring tool. Okay, so I'm going to place it on the short side, which is the portrait side, at 3 3/4 is up here, and I'm going to score this at half an inch on both sides. So half an inch and half an inch. I'm going to turn it on the long side, which is the 9-inch side, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 and 4 3/4. You do want your bone folder, so we're going to fold on the score lines and burnish with the bone folder. Okay, so now let's do some cutting. It looks like this right now. So I'm just going to snip on that score line, and then trim the tabs on the left and on the right. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Now we're going to add some liquid glue to these 2 tabs and attach them, and then we're going to fold this up like that. But before we do that, we want to add the holes for our slider ribbon, okay? Now I'm using a retired 1/2 inch punch. You can use a 1/8 punch, you can use a 3/4 inch punch, you can use a crocodile punch, but unfortunately all of our small circle punches have retired, so use whatever small punch that you have. You could also use a die. Okay, so I'm just going to punch right there in the center, hopefully. And then I'm going to fold this over and do the exact same thing. Now we want to add our ribbon before we assemble this so that we can re-punch that hole. So you decide which side's going to be your front and which side's the back. They're both the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my Designer Series paper. Hopefully I said the right words. I'm just now thinking that, did I call this paper ribbon? I don't know. Hopefully not. Okay, so I'm just adding the liquid glue to the Designer Series paper. Now there is going to be a little bit of glue through there, so be careful. I'm just going to lift it up and then press. And see, there's a little bit of glue right there. I'm just going to take my silicone mat and pick it up. Okay? Now, we want to re-punch that hole. You do want to give that time to dry because you don't want to get really glue in your punch, okay? Okay, since this is my front, this is going to be the back. I'm going to put my liquid glue on these 2 tabs. I'm going to get a clean, fresh silicone mat. I do have a couple of these. So I'm going to put the glue on this one and the glue on this one. And I'm going to fold it in and hold it for a second. Do the same thing on this side. Press and hold. And then now I'm using liquid glue. And the reason I'm using liquid glue and not the tear and tape or the Stampin' Seal Plus is because I want to be able to reposition this and get it exactly where I want it. The other ones are super strong, but you can't reposition them, okay? So I'm going to make sure that my top is straight. And then I'm going to hold that for a second and give it a minute to dry. And then now do the same thing over here, okay? Okay, so there we have it. Looks good, doesn't it? Now we want to add our ribbon. Well, let's go ahead and decorate it because we can do that last. So we're going to take, once again, our liquid glue, and we are going to add just a little bit of glue on the back of our real red one, stitch circle. Attach them like that. Uh-oh, I did that upside down. Oh well, it'll be fine. And then it's going to go right there. And then we're going to add this one here. And then our greeting is going to get popped up because this little guy right there is popped up. So we're going to add greeting up here. Now I can see this touches, and on my original one it didn't. If that bothers you, you can reposition it really quickly. See, I didn't press down too hard. So now I'm pressing, whereas before I just laid it on top. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. Okay, now we're ready for the ribbon. So I'm gonna take a pretend gift card. I don't have another one in my possession right now, so I'm using my Stubbs card. Here's the emergency. And what we're gonna do is take the ribbon. This is the Real Red Satin ribbon. And I'm going to wrap it like that, okay? And then place it inside. And then I'm just going to take the ribbon and thread it back through the hole on this side. And that's way too much for this project, so let me take a little bit back out. There we go. Now, I need to cut this one. So, and now we're going to take some linen thread. Let me get the end of it. There it is. I just have it on a chick stand. And you can tie this in a knot if you want, if a bow is too hard for you. Either way would look nice. If you tie a knot, you might want to use 2 pieces instead of 1. Okay, we still need to clean up the ribbon and then add our embellishment. So I'm just gonna shorten these a tad. So now for our embellishment, we're gonna add 3 rhinestones. I'll place one here and one here. And one down here. Okay, so there you have it. What do you think? Pretty cute, right? Okay, if you need anything, let me know. Don't forget there's a free inspiration sheet over on my website. Have a great day. Oh, he's doing the wolf whistle. What you doing? Oh. I think I should hold this. Hello. Here, under here, Brookie. Right here. Oh, he did a double. Hey, what you doing? Here, look, look. Here's Elvis. Hello. Say hello. Look. Say hello. 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 Oh, what you doing? Hello. Hello. Look, come here, kiss me. Oh, look, here's 2 of them. Oh. Oh my goodness. You're so cute. Mwah. There you go. Oh. Okay, sorry about that.